Hello once more, welcome to another Monday Miniatures Ramble with me, Dakian, as usual. It is currently Monday the 19th of March 2018, and this week I want to show you 3 minis that I finished, and you're looking at 2 of them right now in focus. 2 Sea Elves. What can I say about these? Well, I experimented quite a lot with them, with the skin tones and with the equipment, the armor. And I think the armor turned out better. The skin tones, I don't think that they bear close inspection. The idea was they had to paint very pale skin with tones of several different colors. A little blue, a little green, a little of the normal skin, sort of red-orange. I'm not sure how much of it is showing, really. Well, I think it looks better at a distance than inspected up close. If you look really zoomed in at it, it just looks mottled and weird. But I think on the gaming table, they will suffice. Anyway, I learned a bit about with experimenting and so forth, and I think the sort of colored metallics I've tried to make for their gear, that was better. That turned out all right, I think. Yeah, so that's them. And the third thing I finished this week is a bigger model, which is the Hydra. And again, this was kind of an experiment in painting sort of colored metallics, and I wanted it to look kind of shiny but still dark, and yeah, I think I kind of accomplished that. It's not really a complicated model. If you look at it, I mean, it looks like a complicated build with all the different heads and so forth, but once you put that together, the painting, it doesn't have that many different areas to it. It's kind of basic. And yeah. Well, let me know what you think. It's different from other dragons. I mean, normally, if you go by the D&D route, you got either the chromatic dragons, which are colors, which are sort of just flat colors, or the metallic dragons, which are the normal metals like silver or gold or brass or whatever. This one is kind of a green metallic, which is different in that context. Anyway, that's what I got done. Let's see what I'm still working on. So looking at the state of my painting table right now, this goblin dude is, I would say, actually finished. These pieces look a bit boring separate, but put them together and the contrast will help them. And what's left to do is to glue these bats onto the base here, where I drilled a hole, and then do some work on the base to add some texture and paint it and so forth. And this is the actual work involved is a matter of minutes. It's all the waiting around that's going to take time, waiting for stuff to dry. So that's why he's not done yet. But let's look at these other GW minis. We have a couple of Dark Elves, which have seen a little bit of work. Mostly I've started working on the hair on this girl, and the base, and a little bit on the base, and just undercoating everything in black. This guy, he's I think I'm going to paint his armor a very dark silver, and of course his skin is going to be dark, and you can't see the white hair, and I'm not sure about the cloak. Maybe a blue, purple, some dark color, not black, not fully black. We'll see. And this guy is, well, I've just done a little bit on the base, nothing else. Yeah. But you can see the under shading here, which is nice. Anyway, that was them. Let's see if there's anything else to show you. And here's this pretty boy. Popeye, as his name is. You might think I've gotten a whole lot done on him because there's paint all over him, but actually it's just base coats. Well, I primed him and then I laid down base coats. Each part of this miniature has just one color on it, but it's several layers. I've done several thin layers of each paint, well, except the pink in here, which is just slapped on in the mouth. And I don't normally do this. I usually just paint one area of a miniature at a time, leave the others until I'm ready for them. But this time I wanted to get a sort of sense of where I was going and what the sort of color balance would be. And so the sort of plinth is a really dark gray. It might look black. It's actually heavy charcoal by Vallejo Game Color. The shoulder pad is black. I forget which black it is. It's just black. It's simply an undercoat for a metal color that's going to come later. The strap is leather brown by Game Color. The fur is beastie brown. The skin is a 50-50 mix of tan and goblin green. That's what produced this nice olive color. Because I thought, yeah, I do want to go traditional. I want to have a green orc, but I don't want a bright green because that will not read well on a mini of this scale. It will look cartoonish and not very nice. So I wanted something more realistic, and I wanted to add some skin tones, and tan is a very nice reddish brown skin tone. That is the paint known as tan in the Vallejo Game Color line. And I think I might be using that tan to get some shade in there, and I'll use the goblin green to highlight, and possibly some other colors also, both for shading and highlighting. We'll see. I want to experiment a little bit with some different blends here. And as I've said, I'm going to take my time with this guy, but now I've laid down the base, and yeah, I'm confident in where it's going, I think. Well. So that's all the stuff in progress. Well, no, not entirely. Let's look at the minis I lined up next week and see how far along they've gotten in the prep. So the hobgoblins are in the midst of assembly. This one is easy because he's one piece. I just need to fill out some groundwork on the base. The ones who simply needed shields glued on, I've done that. The other one I had to modify because I suspect there should have been two shields like the kite shield you saw on the other guy. There was a slight gap in the blister where it attached to the card, and I assume one of the shields slipped out somehow during transport or packing or whatever. I was missing a shield. I could have said something to Reaper about it. Their customer service is really, really good, and they would have replaced it, but I couldn't be bothered. So I just found an extra leftover shield in my bits box from some other kits. It looks cool. It sort of looks like it belongs. Let's see, this guy, I've attached one arm. Got the other one here. I just haven't gotten around to gluing it on. This archer, she just needs her bow. We have a bow and a hand here, which is not a good connection point, but I'll make it work. And finally, this guy has a lot of stuff. He has a bunch of pieces, including what I assume is a piece of a tabard that's supposed to be in front here, which makes me wonder, do I really want to attach that before painting? Because that will make painting the inside really, really hard. What happens if I leave it off? Can I attach it seamlessly after? Damn it, Reaper, you're making problems for me. Anyway, both arms. One holding a staff and one just arm out for this, some sort of wizard or shaman or whatever. Yeah,
So that's in the works.
Now, the weird thing is, nothing new has arrived this week either. And I know there is stuff in the way, quite a lot of stuff, supposedly in the mail for me. And I don't want to point fingers, but damn. Royal Mail is really bad and slow. Take that, UK. Anyway, what's next? What am I going to prep next? Well, so I've painted quite a few monsters and opponents lately, and this is sort of a continuation on this. These 7 are a group of models that I intend to be representing important NPCs, non-player characters in my current campaign that will show up. That the players haven't met them yet, but they will turn up eventually. Among these we have, these 4 are all elves, I think. This is an elf as well. Hard to tell. Now these 2 models are the Witch Queen and the Priestess, and I'm looking for kind of a Witch Queen, like a magic using female elf of great power, but who also wields maybe some swords. And I'm not decided which of these 2 models is going to be that character. So I'll just paint both of them up and see which one I like best. These 2 are also female elves, but they are separate characters. They're part of the Witch Queen's well, posse, retinue, you might say. As are this barbarian warrior and the 2 half-orcs, the shaman half-orc and the half-orc warrior. I'm giving a bit too much away if any of my players are watching this, but oh well, I don't think they could be arsed. Well, but as you saw, I'm not even done prepping those hobgoblins yet, so who knows how far I will get with these guys by next week. It all depends on how much time I find myself with on my hands. So, that was another video done. Another ramble concluded. As always, hope it was interesting. If you watched it all the way to the end, I assume it was interesting, so why not give me a thumbs up? Subscribe if you haven't done so before, and I will see you, and oh yeah, and comment on the video, of course. I'll see you again next Monday, as always. In the meantime, I'm Dakian, signing off.